Welcome to Harry Potter University. Today we're delving deep into the chilling history of Azkaban, the infamous wizarding prison. Uncover its dark origins, mysterious secrets, and its haunting impact on the wizarding world. Let's explore the shadows together. The history of Azkaban. Azkaban, a place with a long history dating back to the 15th century, wasn't always a prison. The original fortress was situated on an island in the North Sea, hidden from both Muggle and wizarding maps, likely due to magical manipulation. The fortress was first inhabited by a relatively unknown sorcerer named Akrisdis, who was immensely powerful but of uncertain origin. Akrisdis, believed to be insane, delved into the darkest forms of dark arts. Isolated on the island, he sadistically lured, tormented, and murdered Muggle sailors, seemingly deriving pleasure from it. After Akrisdis' death, the concealment charms he had cast faded, revealing the existence of the island and fortress to the Ministry of Magic. Those who ventured inside to investigate never spoke about their findings. What was known was that Dementors infested the place, making it profoundly terrifying. The history of Azkaban is marked by its transformation from a malevolent sorcerer's abode to a prison known for its inhospitable conditions and as the breeding ground for Dementors, dark creatures that feed on happiness. Opinions about Azkaban varied among those in power. Some believed it was best to demolish the sinister place, while others dreaded the potential consequences of displacing the Dementors that inhabited it. These creatures were already formidable and resistant to destruction. Many worried that without their established environment, these beings might seek a gruesome retribution, thriving on the torment they could cause. The very essence of the building exuded suffering and anguish, and the Dementors clung to it tenaciously. Experts who specialized in structures influenced by dark magic argued that attempting to destroy Azkaban might trigger its own form of retaliation. As a result, the fortress remained deserted for years, becoming a breeding ground for the perpetually multiplying Dementors, as nobody dared to disturb its unsettling equilibrium. After the enactment of the International Statute of Secrecy, the Ministry of Magic grew concerned about the security of the scattered small wizarding prisons found in different towns and villages across the country. These facilities often saw incarcerated witches and wizards attempting escapes that resulted in disruptive noises, odors, and displays of magic. To mitigate this, the idea of constructing a dedicated prison on a remote Hebridean island gained traction. However, when Damocles' role assumed the role of Minister for Magic, things took a different turn. Role, an authoritarian leader who had gained power by championing anti-Muggle sentiments in the wake of the wizarding community going into hiding, made a drastic choice. Rejecting the new prison plans, he opted to use Azkaban instead. Role, known for his sadistic tendencies, believed that the Dementors present at Azkaban could serve as convenient guards, saving the Ministry the effort and resources needed to establish a new facility. This decision was made despite the notorious reputation of Azkaban and its dark history. In spite of opposition from many wizards, among them experts on both Dementors and buildings of Azkaban's kind of dark history, Role carried out his plan and soon a steady trickle of prisoners had been placed there. None ever emerged. If they were not mad and dangerous before being placed in Azkaban, they swiftly became so. Following Role, Perseus Parkinson assumed leadership and maintained a pro-Azkaban stance. By the time Eldritch Diggory became Minister for Magic, the prison had operated for 15 years, boasting an unblemished record with no escapes or security breaches. However, Diggory's perspective shifted when he personally visited the prison and realized the dire circumstances within. The inmates were largely driven to insanity, and a graveyard had been designated for those who perished in desolation. Back in London, Diggory took action, forming a committee to explore alternatives to Azkaban and consider removing the Dementors as guards. Experts explained that the Dementors remained largely restricted to the island because they were sustained by a constant supply of souls from the prisoners. Without captives, they might abandon the prison and move to the mainland. Despite this counsel, Diggory's shock at Azkaban's horrors drove him to urge the committee to search for alternatives. However, before any decisions could be reached, Diggory succumbed to dragonpox and passed away. From that point until Kingsley Shacklebolt's era, no minister seriously contemplated shutting down Azkaban. the inhumane conditions were overlooked, and the prison was expanded through magic, seldom visited due to the chilling presence of countless Dementors. Most ministers justified their stance by emphasizing the prison's flawless record in containing inmates. Almost 300 years passed before this unbroken record was finally shattered. A young man managed an ingenious escape from the prison when his visiting mother took his place, a clever ploy that the Dementors, devoid of sight and emotion, couldn't perceive nor predict. Another remarkable escape followed, accomplished by Sirius Black, who outwitted the Dementors all on his own. The prison's vulnerability became evident in the subsequent years, witnessing 2 large-scale breakouts involving Death Eaters. By then, the Dementors had pledged allegiance to Lord Voldemort, enticed by the promise of unprecedented freedom and opportunity. Albus Dumbledore was a vocal critic of using Dementors as guards. His concerns extended beyond the prisoners' inhumane treatment to the potential shift in loyalty of these sinister beings. Under Kingsley Shacklebolt's leadership, Azkaban underwent a transformation as Dementors were expelled. Though it still serves as a prison, Auras now act as guards, regularly rotated from the mainland. Since this new system's implementation, there hasn't been a single escape. As we conclude this video, we of Harry Potter University want to thank you for joining us as we delved into the chilling history of Azkaban. Its shadows and secrets unveil a fascinating tale of darkness and magic. If you found this exploration intriguing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more enchanting content.